Hello my Wolfpack and welcome to another competitive guide video where today we're going to cover Brute Bonnet. Now Brute Bonnet is a relatively defensive Pokemon. It's got base 111 HP and base 99 in both its defenses, meaning it can definitely sponge up a couple of hits, and base 127 in its attack, which actually is really quite high. Now obviously it's got quite a few weaknesses but also quite a few resistances as well, but your main thing is going to be the bug type moves. They're going to cause a lot of problems for you, so just be very cautious with regards to that. Move-wise, in singles, we have got Body Press. Now, if you can baton pass some defense onto Brute Bonnet, then definitely this will work really nicely in your favour, because whilst having 99 defense is relatively good, it could definitely be better, and I don't think it has any ability to raise its defense on its own. But if you can get that baton passed on, then definitely that's going to work really well for you. Body Slam, there's a 30% chance to paralyze, really handy, especially with your lackluster speed, but if you have like ally Pokemon that are faster, obviously having that paralysis can definitely help with them as well. Clear Smog to get rid of any setups. Realistically, a lot of setup mons exist right now. In fact, I would say the vast majority of the really good mons do require some kind of setup in order to get to the place where they need to be, and Clear Smog just completely gets rid of that. So really helpful to get rid of those stat changes. Close Combat, powerful, Feist type attack. Obviously it hits a lot of different Pokemon for super effective damage, so it can be really helpful for you. Crunch, powerful stab, dark type attack, hits hard. Dark Pulse, it's a special attack rather than physical attack, but I guess you can try and pull off some kind of special aspect to this. Obviously the physical aspect is much better, but you can try it with the special alongside with Earth Power and Giga Drain. Giga Drain obviously stab, heals yourself up a little bit, and Earth Power gives a little bit of coverage. You've got Hex. Now Hex works really nice in combination with Spore, putting the Pokemon to sleep, and then Hex allows you to be able to do double damage to that Pokemon whilst it's asleep. Obviously with any status ailment, Hex will do double damage. Leaf Storm, now this can work more effectively if you have got a Pokemon that is quite bulky in defense. You bring this thing in and it's got low special defense, meaning that you can throw up one Leaf Storm, possibly take it out if it's lowerish on HP. And obviously your special attack will drop, but realistically you're not going to use it again, so that's kind of where I would possibly run Leaf Storm, only in very specific scenarios though. Seed Bomb, powerful stab, grass type attack, probably your most powerful stab attack. Spore, puts Pokemon to sleep. Stomping Tantrum, powerful ground type attack, and can hit your fire weakness super effectively. Stun Spore, 75% accurate, so not the most amazing, but the ability to paralyze can be very helpful. Zen Headbutt, strong physical psychic type move, which allows you to hit a couple of your weaknesses there as well. In terms of doubles, this thing is probably going to see itself in doubles a lot more than it is in singles. You've got Rage Powder. Now Rage Powder puts the focus onto yourself, and as you have got that natural bulk, you should be able to sponge up a hit potentially. So Rage Powder definitely works in combination whilst your ally is doing some shenanigans, possibly doing some setting up, or possibly causing some damage, so it can then get some big hits later on. You've got Protect, obviously that's a staple in terms of doubles. Pollen Puff, which has the ability to cause damage as well as heal up your ally, which obviously is really helpful if they are taking damage. And also Taunt to stop the opposing Pokemon from doing any really weird shenanigans themselves. Now, Terra types. We have got 3 recommended Terra types. The first one I've gone for is a Ground Terra type, and Ground Terra type basically takes out the vast majority of your weaknesses. The main issue you have to concern about is the Ice type and the Water type at that point, but realistically you're going to be able to cover the Water type. Ice type is still a concern though, so do be cautious of that. However, Ice types are less frequent than some of the other types. They're still relatively frequent, but less frequent than some other types. One of your best ones is probably going to be the Fire type. Now realistically, you can cover any ground types, any rock types that want to come in against this. Water types obviously you can cover, so most of your weaknesses are covered by your stab attacks. And the fire type takes away a lot of your weaknesses in terms of your weakness to fire, your weakness to ice, your weakness to fighting, basically all of your weaknesses that are on here, and it allows you to get the resist for the bug and the fairy type, which are 2 problematic types you also have there as well. So realistically, fire type is probably going to be the best Terra type for Brute Bonnet. You've also got the Flying type, which again does similar to the Fire type. It takes away a few of your weaknesses, but again, you do remain in there with the Ice type weakness. So you do need to be very cautious of that, but I would definitely say as a top typing, Fire type is going to be the best one. Whereas Flying and Ground are going to be your secondary types that you probably use. Moving on to the actual set, we have got the first Brute Bonnet, which is more designed as kind of a living slow beater. Now, base 127 attack, really high. Gives you 388 attack, and if you can battle pass some attack onto it, fantastic. If not, then no worries. Obviously, you have got Photosynthesis, so if you can use Booster Energy, or if you can get a Pokemon that uses the Sun, so for example, Torkoal or Koraidon, if it's ever available, you can definitely use that to your favour. I've put the Leftovers as the item here because it allows you to get some passive recovery each turn, whilst having Synthesis on the set to allow you to heal, because you are going to take hits, you are quite slow, and damage is just going to happen to you inevitably. Move-wise, you've got Crunch, Powerful Stab, Dark-type attack, and Seed Bomb, Powerful Stab, Grass-type attack, which can give coverage to a lot of different Pokemon, and Crunch obviously has a chance to lower defense as well. Close Combat, Powerful Fighter-type attack, again to hit a variety of different Pokemon for super effective damage, especially ones that you may not be able to hit with your other moves. Now, as I said, this is going to be a slow burner. This one's probably going to take a while to be able to do anything unless you put some attack onto it by using Baton Pass or something along those lines. But realistically, yeah, this thing is less of a complete offensive powerhouse and more of something that's going to chip away quite quickly, but not as quick as with a setup that can take place. So EV wise, max HP, max attack, adamant nature, so more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. You could zero out the speed on this thing if you wanted to try and run a trick room with it. That's perfectly acceptable to do, but it's completely up to you how you decide to run that. Moving on to the second Brute Bonnet, we have got the Booster Energy on this set, and it's just kind of a destructive Mon, realistically, just with lots and lots of powerful moves. You could run a Choice Band here if you wanted to, but Booster Energy gives you a similar boost, whilst also not limiting you to a singular move. Close Combat again, powerful fighting type attack, you're going to use that to your advantage. Seed Bomb, powerful grass type attack, boosted by Stab. Sucker Punch has the priority, but obviously your opponent does have to be doing some kind of attack, which, you know, it's risky because they might go for a setup move, and if they go for several setup moves, then they can potentially just sweep your team. But Sucker Punch definitely going to be a really good solid option to use in a lot of circumstances. And Stomping Tantrum, again, covers a couple of those weaknesses and a couple of those problematic types such as Steel and Fire. EVs is exactly the same as before, max HP, max attack, adamant, with a little bit in special defense. Again, you can zero out the speed if you want to. It's entirely up to you how you decide to do that though. The next one is a Sun team. Now the Sun here is going to have a double-pronged effect. One, it's going to activate your Photosynthesis. So realistically, you want this in a team with probably Torkoal. I think Torkoal is the only Sun setter that will probably be available in kind of the main tiers of any leagues. So Photosynthesis will activate because of the Sun, and you also then have the ability to use Growth in the Sun as well. And that Growth will allow you to be able to increase up your offensive power. So rather than just a +1 in attack and special attack, in the Sun, Growth does +2 in the attack and the special attack. Essentially, a Swords Dance and Nasty Plot all in one. So if you can get that activated in the Sun, that would be really, really helpful for you. I put Red Card here because it, again, would probably allow you to set up another turn because they'll probably have to switch again or something along those lines. And at this point, I've kind of given us a mixed set. So we've got Giga Drain to get some recovery here, but you could definitely run this as Synthesis if you wanted to get that recovery, and obviously Synthesis will give you 75% back, so obviously you can play that instead. But I just thought it's interesting to run the Giga Drain on top of here as well, because if you double that special attack, that's actually looking pretty darn nice. Close Combat, powerful fighter type attack again, and then Crunch as a powerful dark type attack, but you can run any kind of assortment of attack there. The whole idea of this one is to run it in the Sun, run the Growth, maybe get 1 or 2 Growths up. If you get 2 Growths up, you are laughing, quite frankly, especially if you want to try and run this in like doubles with a Trick Room scenario. That could definitely work in your favour as well, but there are several moving parts that you would have to deal with. Now, EV-wise, max HP, max attack, gone for a Brave Nature, so more attack, less speed, and 4 EVs in special attack. Realistically, this thing's not outspeeding much. It's going to be taking some hits, unless there's a slower Pokemon that does come out, which then, yay, there's a slower Pokemon, but if not, you have to try and sponge those attacks. Red Card to get rid of that Pokemon can be very, very helpful as well, but you can run a large variety of different items on here, any assortments of berries, so any resistant berries, any kind of healing berries. You could run leftovers, you could run things like heavy duty boots, you could run lots and lots of different things on here to allow you to get that to work. Now moving on to doubles, which is where Brute Bonnet does start to shine a little bit more. First set I've gone for is a defensive set with Rocky Helmet on here. There are a lot of hard hitters currently in VGC or doubles, and realistically a lot of them are physical hitters, and if they're going to physically hit you, they're going to take damage from the Rocky Helmet, which can be really handy. Rage Powder on here. Now Rage Powder again has that double-pronged effect with the Rocky Helmet, because it means that those moves are going to come into you rather than your ally, and that means that the opponent will take some damage if they are using physical attacks. Spore obviously is a really helpful move to use, allowing you to be able to put the opponent to sleep. So you definitely could run, I imagine Brute Bonnet and Roaring Moon would actually work really quite nice together. You do need to be very careful of fairy types though, so you might want to run Roselli Berry on one of them at least. And what you want to do is you want to Rage Powder to get the attention on you for that first turn. Realistically, you'd hopefully hopefully live, sorry. Get your Roaring Moon or whatever Pokemon that you might have as a physical powerhouse that has Tailwind, double the speed of your team, meaning that Brute Bonnet will start to outspeed a lot more of the Pokemon there, and you put some speed investment in this as well to allow that to work even better. So that's a possibility to run in doubles with a Tailwind option. Definitely be very good there. Synthesis allows you to get some recovery here because you are going to be taking hits, that's the reality here, and then Pollen Puff to heal your ally as well as cause damage on the opponent's Pokemon as well. So EV-wise, max HP, max defense, Bold Nature, more defense, less attack, and 4 EVs in special attack. Just because that Pollen Puff obviously is a special attack, there's no point in taking down your attack, but if you want to run an attacking move like Seed Bomb or Crunch or something like that, then obviously you can run that instead. But I just thought Pollen Puff allows you to get that recovery. This is more of a supportive set than an offensive set that will cause any damage to different Pokemon. Not to mention, if you get this into a Sun team, you'll have 1.3 times in your defense, which means that you're going to take less damage overall, which, you know, really would be quite fantastic. And then I've gone for a final Brute Bonnet here, which again works better in doubles, and this again is more of a kind of supportive side. We've got Clear Smog to be able to get rid of any get rid of any setups, and if they're setting up, obviously Clear Smogging means they're less likely to try and set up again out of that risk. Protect to allow you to obviously sponge an attack or obviously not get damaged by it. Spore to put the Pokemon to sleep, and then Giga Drain to get some recovery there as well. Again, you could run this mixed together with that previous double set if you wanted to. Definitely is an option for you to be able to do. I put Leftovers on here to get some recovery each turn, but yeah, realistically running this one again as more of a specially defensive Pokemon, so max HP, max special defense with Calm Nature, so more special defense, less attack, and 4 EVs in special attack or 4 EVs in defense. However you want to run this, you can decide to run this. Again, you can go for the physical attack as opposed to the Giga Drain if you want to, but the Giga Drain was designed to get a little bit of recovery there. So yeah, that's just my ideas for Brute Bonnet. I think it's definitely going to be much better in doubles than it is going to be in singles, personally, unless you run it in a Sun team, that growth set. In fact, running the growth set in a doubles team would be really fantastic as well, but then it would be less likely to have that capability when it comes to being that defensive, all attention on me Pokemon. But that's going to be all for today, so I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.